So you guys seem to really mess with the series on the channel, The Craziest Transformation in Rap. We did part 1 on Clemethazine, part 2 on Lil Wop. Now we got a part 3. This is real easy. We got Kanye West, who's the ultimate crash out. Doesn't care about any brand deals, none of that. He's the perfect contestant for a part 3 video. Kanye, crazy, it's real. He's the first rapper with CTE, 100%, even though you don't know anyone has CTE until they're dead. But Kanye West, that brain is mush. Still a genius though at the end of the day, and he might be trolling, who knows. Not gonna say what he's doing is cool at all. On the interview with academics, definitely was the final straw with anyone messing with Kanye in the future.
I'm evil.
You don't think about like his family and people, other people that love him?
I am an evil person.
And they say this is the moment everything switched for Kanye West here.
This, come on. Kanye, you okay? You okay? You alright, Kanye? Are you okay? Alright, good.
But I mean, bro, I guess anyone that picks Kim K as their baby mama is a little sick in the head. You know, there's a word we use for her when I'm not recording YouTube videos. You know, I can't really say it, but it starts with H, middle word O, last word E. What does that spell out, guys? Ho, ho, ho. Kanye Omari West, Omari, whatever you want to say. Kanye West. If you call him Kanye to his face, he'd probably get really mad at you and say, I'm Ye. So I guess you could say he has 2 different names. He was born in the ATL, moved to Chicago after his parents' divorce. But if we get to the music, Kanye would start producing for Rockefeller Records in 2000, which people actually credit Kanye for reinventing. Maybe reinventing is not the best word to use. Let me say revitalizing Jay-Z's career, you know what I'm saying? Making it better with his 2001 album, The Blueprint, that Kanye helped out with production. If we talk about who's better, if we keep it $150 between Kanye and Jay-Z, bro, Kanye's better than Jay-Z, 1,000 times better. Like, I think Jay-Z's overrated in my opinion, but I'm not an old head. If I said that to the old heads, they probably throw me up in the ocean with cement tied to my shoes or some shit. I don't know. Jay-Z's one of the gold. I'd rather play Russian roulette IRL than listen to a full Jay-Z album in 2025. Bro, let me chill before I see them black trucks outside my crib, bro. Let's get back to Kanye, dog. Which Kanye didn't just get in the Rockefeller magically, you know what I'm saying? He was producing albums in the mid-90s and people saw his work. But in 2002, Kanye would start pursuing rap. But in 2002, while working on his first album, College Dropout, which the song you heard, All Falls Down, is on that album, has over 800 million plays. That year in 2002, Kanye would get in a horrible car accident that made him almost lose his life. Multiple surgeries that caused his mouth to get wired shut.
This accident is God saying, I'm about to hand you the world. Just know at any given time, I can take it away from you. So always keep me first. But I have to just thank God for the situation that I'm in. You know, it's like we turn the worst thing into the best thing. Through the wire, it seemed like it is the worst thing that could have possibly happened to me. And now, it's obviously the best
Somebody order pancakes, I just sip the shit. My mouth was wired up.
He recorded Through the Wire with his mouth wired shut, which makes the song even more legendary. Now he had a debut mixtape called Get Well Soon after the accident in 2002, and Through the Wire and Jesus Walks are both on this mixtape. Now if we get to 2003, Kanye was working on the College Dropout while recovering from his accident. The album was postponed many times in 2003 and didn't even come out until 2004, but they wanted it to come out the year prior in 03, and it was postponed multiple times due to it getting leaked. So we would get the College Dropout in February of 2004, and we don't have to say much about that album. Kanye, in my opinion, has never missed on an album he's dropped, unless you're talking about like recent albums from like 2022 on. He's really a genius. There's a reason he's a billionaire and, you know, has been around for so long. A lot of people hate what he's doing now, and we're gonna get to that later in this video. The College Dropout won Kanye Rap Album of the Year. He had 10 Grammy nominations, bro. Let's just say after his first album, Kanye was here to stay. If we get the Late Registration in 2005, another classic album, Kanye invested $2 million to make this album. Touch the Sky, Gold Digger, and Hey Mama are all on that album, which the same year he dropped that classic album, he would say this about George Bush on live TV in front of a bunch of people.
See a black family, it says they're looting. See a white family, it says they're looking for food. George Bush doesn't care about black people.
You know, we would get a little taste of the Kanye craziness there in 2005, but he ended up apologizing to George Bush in 2010.
I would tell George Bush, in my moment of frustration, I didn't have the grounds to call him a racist.
You know, Kanye, he was doing stuff artists weren't doing at the time, which is storming on stage at MTV Awards. And we're not talking about the Taylor Swift incident yet. In 2006, Kanye would fail to win the Best Music Video Award with Touch the Sky.
I'm up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky.
After not winning in 2006, he would storm on stage and say this.
Thank you. This video cost $1 million, fam. I had Pam Anderson. I'm jumping across canyons. Now you're gonna have to share. Oh hell! Oh. Hey, if I don't win, the award show loses.
In 2007, the next year, we would get Kanye's third album, Graduation, and this would sell over 957,000 copies first week. This album might not have a skip, bro. You Got Stronger, I Wonder, Good Life, Can't Tell Me Nothing, Flashing Lights, Everything I Am, Homecoming, all in the same album is insane. What a good song from my childhood, bro. Oh my goodness.
How excited are you about this album?
I think it's my best album to date, and I think people are really feeling it.
But unfortunately, that same year in 2007, Kanye's mom, Donda, would pass away due to a failure at cosmetic surgery. And I don't want to jump forward too fast in this video, but in 2022, Kanye would say that his mom was sacrificed. And I can only imagine just the pain of losing your own mother.
God, that's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
And him losing his mom could be another reason for Kanye's bad decline in his mental health, because if we get to 2009 at the awards show with Taylor Swift, 808s and Heartbreak came out the year before in 2008, and we got the classic song on their Heartless.
Somewhere far along this road, he lost his soul to a woman so heartless. They don't know what we've been through. They don't know about me and you. So I got something new to say.
So the next year in 2009, Taylor Swift will win Best Music Video Award for the females, and this is what Kanye had to say about it.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Which the president at the time, Barack Obama, wasn't too happy about this incident.
I thought that was really inappropriate. You know, I mean, it's like she's getting an award. What are you butting in? The young lady seems like a perfectly nice person. She's getting her award. What's he doing up there? He's a jackass.
Getting called a jackass by the president, I don't know how I would feel, honestly, but you could see a common theme with Kanye here. The more recognition, the more fame, the more money he's getting to, the crazier stuff he tends to do. But you know, after that incident in 2010, the year after, we would get My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, so a lot of people just forget about Taylor at that rate because this album right here, boy.
Put your hands to the constellations. The way you look should be a sin. You my sensation. Looking at my I bet she give your ass a bone. Looking at my wrist, it'll turn your ass to stone.
Like, to me, that's the best produced song I've ever heard in my life, to me. Now, I think Kanye also, to me, is the GOAT producer when it comes to production. Oh my gosh, bro, he got it. You could definitely say he's the GOAT when it comes to production, bro. It just sounds so good. You had Runaway on that same album, and that same year, he even did a freestyle with Pusha T.
Pusha T in the building. What up, what's the deal? You know, my Dark Twisted Fantasy. November 22nd.
You know what it is.
Never stops.
Ballin', get caught with 30 Rasta cop, look like Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
Inner century anthems, based off inner city tantrums, based off the way we was branded. Face it, Jerome get more time than Brandon. And at the airport, they check all through my bag and tell me that it's random.
I mean, by this time, Kanye A-list celebrity. If we get to 2012, he would officially announce his relationship with Kim Kardashian, who he would make his baby mother. And I think that's where, you know, you really see the cognitive decline in Kanye's mental health, because, bro, who in their right mind is making Kim K, who got famous off sucking cock, the mother to their children? Like, the children are gonna grow up one day and they already know what their mother's famous for. They're gonna know. I don't care what anyone says, bro. I get Kim K's bad, but hey, bro, that's a tough decision right there, Kanye. I ain't gonna lie to you. Especially seeing how she did you in the future, and we'll get to that. But in 2013, we would kind of get the first hint at Kanye and his hate for paparazzi. And I guess you could kind of say at this time he was transforming into someone he wasn't, you know, 10 years ago when he started. And he tried fighting the paparazzi in 2013 for simply just doing their job and asking questions.
I love your work. I love your work.
I appreciate it, but don't talk.
I love your work, though.
I know, I don't want, that's fine, but don't talk to me. I don't want to hear paparazzi talk to me or anybody I know.
I'm a
It doesn't
field
matter.
reporter. I'm a field reporter.
but don't talk to me.
With Jay-Z, people are pumped.
Then we get this famous video from the paparazzi outside Kanye's crib at 4 a.m. and I definitely get why he was mad here, because what the f are you guys doing? This video is also from the year 2013.
Hey, good morning, Kanye.
Shut the f up. Don't say anything to me, man. Like, stop asking me questions. You out in front of my house at 4 a.m. Tell me, how's it going? Relax now. What you mean relax?
And if we get to 2016, the famous music video would come out, and you know, if you've seen this video like I did when I was a little boy, yeah, it's a bunch of naked celebrities in a bed that I can't show on here. It's wax figures though, obviously, most of them. Well, honestly, I think all of them, because if it was real, then it probably wouldn't have went up on YouTube. It's a really weird video, but you can kind of see inside the mind of Kanye. But in 2016, Kanye was admitted into a psych hospital after ending one of his shows early, after going on a rant and only performing 3 songs.
Get ready to have a field day, press. Get ready, because the show's over.
Yeah, maybe a mental hospital didn't sound too bad at the time, and a refund for that show. I would have needed that shit ASAP. When he went to the mental hospital, they diagnosed him with bipolar disorder, and that wouldn't become public until 2018, which a lot of crazy stuff went down that year. You had the famous TMZ interview after Kanye said the craziest thing I've ever heard him say. Well, actually not the craziest thing I ever heard him say. It's gotten a lot crazier, you know, especially now in 2025, but he said slavery was a choice. Only someone like Kanye would say something that absurd. But in that TMZ interview from 2018, he would admit that he was an opioid addict, and after going 2 days without him is the reason he was admitted into the hospital and had that nervous breakdown during his tour.
I was drugged the f out, bro. I was drugged out. I was on opioids. 2 days after I got off of opioids, and I was addicted to opioids, 2 days I got off of opioids, I'm in the hospital.
But let's just say TMZ wasn't going to change Kanye's mind that day in 2018.
You hear about slavery for 400 years? For 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all?
But in 2019, it seemed like Kanye was trying to go down a better path, a godly path. He started his Sunday services in 2019. We got the Jesus is King album.
Always keep them safe. Watch out for vipers. Don't let them indoctrinate. Life like this is what your life like. Try to live your life right. People really know you push your buttons like type right.
At this time, you know, Kanye would kind of stay out of controversy, you know, from 2019 to 2021. I mean, in 2020, he did have a nervous breakdown talking about his mother, and a lot of people found this funny, but I found it honestly sad.
My mom saved my life. There would have been no Kanye West because my dad was too busy.
When we get to 2021, it started getting a little more rough for Kanye because him and his wife Kim would split and she would get to keep his children. And this was all orchestrated by Kim Kardashian herself. Kanye didn't want this divorce, which I guess this was just a bunch of fuel for Donda, you know what I'm saying? Just a bunch of ambition, motivation to put out a great album like Donda, which the rollout for Donda was amazing. Donda came out that year in 2021. Kanye rented out the whole Mercedes-Benz Stadium in 2021 to perform Donda, bro. He was just on his shit. If you get to 2022, Kim Kardashian announced her relationship with Pete Davidson just a year after divorcing Kanye West, so you could already feel Kanye. You know, you could just feel how he's feeling, bro. The strings at the heart are being pulled, because, bro, who the Pete Davidson? Pete Davidson allegedly sent Kanye a photo of him and Kim in the bed together. You know, weirdo activity. But later that year in 2022, there would be a Drink Champs interview that got deleted after Kanye went at the Jewish community and said a bunch of anti-Semitic stuff. Someone even saying this is the worst interview Kanye has ever done. Well, you should have put "so far" at the end of that sentence. Kanye would do an interview with AJ. I'm just gonna call him AJ. I don't even want to say his name on YouTube, bro. So blackballed. But this was only a couple months after the Drink Champs interview in 2022. But when he went on that interview, he would say a lot more, you know, just a lot more anti-Semitic stuff. Which I want to say this before anything. I don't condone anything Kanye says, thinks, or does, especially now.
There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler. A lot of things.
Yeah, by this point, you could just say bro was off his rocker. O.J. Simpson probably had a healthier brain at the end of his NFL career than Kanye West does right now. But by the start of 2023, after all the anti-Semitic remarks, he lost a lot of his brand deals and sponsorships with Vogue, Universal Music Group, Balenciaga, Gap, and Adidas. They even said his net worth dropped from 1.8 billion to 400 million after, you know, the whole Adidas termination. Which it only gets worse from here because then he would become a nitrous addict in the year of 2024.
Ryan Garcia, this Ye, I'm on a nitrous.
Yeah, Ye's dentist was just giving him a bunch of nitrous because, you know, he had the money to do so, and the dentist was being this corrupt and, you know, just making Kanye's brain worse with his nitrous addiction. But hey, money talks, I guess. Which he even would snatch up a reporter's phone that year in 2024 for asking if his wife has free will.
It's because of free will. Some people are saying you're controlling her.
Hold on, yeah. She's tipsy, she's gonna make a big deal.
But if we get to Super Bowl 59 in February of 2025, Kanye would get a commercial to get people over to his Yeezy website.
I spent like all the money for the commercial on these new teeth.
Yeah, he would sell shirts with a swastika on them, you know, just wow. Wow. Even that same month as the Super Bowl, he would post some crazy tweets calling himself a Nazi and even saying F Virgil. So then that brings us to the most recent Kanye interview in 2025 where he's wearing a black Klansman outfit.
Wherever you want. You can sit right here.
Yeah, this is definitely probably the craziest interview I've ever seen in my life from a celebrity. And he literally has a iced out swastika pendant on while doing the interview the whole time. Now, obviously, I'm not going to show you guys the full interview, but he would go at Cardi, Jay-Z, Pusha T, all the relationships he's buried in the past, or people have buried with him. He's officially buried them even deeper. But he would say Drake is 1,000,000 times better than Kendrick.
I appreciate, one thing is Drake is 1,000,000 times better than Kendrick and 1,000,000 times more important.
But when he was asked about why he said F Virgil, here's what he had to say. And it really just explains Kanye very well now.
Why say Virgil after he passed? I think a lot of people feel like, you know, he's not here to defend himself. It feels like you still have a little bit of animosity there.
I'm evil.
You don't think about like his family and other people that love him?
I am an evil person.
Now, if we get the Bully from Kanye, his most recent album, I guess he already dropped it. It was pulled from streaming services. It's really complicated. There's a bunch of samples that really aren't going to get cleared because it's Kanye West. But Kanye in 2025, it's cooked. You know what I'm saying? I could just only imagine where it goes from here. Probably going to get a lot worse.